What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, we back in Sweden. Got this recommendation from Snabotron here in the Discord, and we got American girl and Swedish guy reacts to Swedish stereotypes. I've seen a lot of Swedish stereotypes, or I've seen a lot of videos about Sweden in general, and definitely one of my favorite countries that I'm definitely gonna visit. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some IKEAs and meatballs up in here. That's what you asked me about Sweden, meatballs, IKEA. Spotify, so the different brands and stuff. So we finna check this out. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Send me more recommendations. Let's jump into it.
Hi, I'm Sky, I'm from the US.
And I am Oscar and I'm from Sweden.
I know about fika. And I know about smörgåstårta. So when I was younger, in middle school, I found PewDiePie on YouTube, and I wanted to learn Sweden. So I just briefly studied the culture, but yeah, I only learned
briefly studied by watching PewDiePie.
I'm kind of new to everything.
It's still good, no? Smörgåsbord, fika.
Wait, smörgåstårta is like a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
I heard of a
smörgåsbord.
Like a cake sandwich.
Yeah. And
Lovely.
fika is like, even
good.
Children eat fika,
Yeah.
like in school. That's really cool. We don't get breaks in America like that. So.
All right, we have like a lunch break. That's about it. I think they starting to give like the kids a brain break where they can take a break from the work, get up, kind of do a little exercise type stuff, kind of get their body awake and all those type of things. But the only thing we used to have when I was in school was lunch. And lunch was 30 minutes, and you waiting in line for 10 to 15. So you really only had a 15 to 10 minute lunch.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's it. That's all I know. That is a stereotype. I think about a lot of people in
So you
here.
have blue eyes?
Scandinavian people. That is a very true stereotype. Some people have asked me if I'm Swedish or Russian, but I believe that's true for Americans. What do you think?
Well,
Do you hear this in Sweden?
as a Swede, I think this is not true. I mean, it is a
Right.
stereotype, right?
Yeah.
I don't consider myself very blonde. I have blue eyes, but I think it's a minority actually in Sweden with blue eyes.
Really?
Yeah. But we have a lot of mixed color, like blue, green, brown. It's very mixed. Eye color and hair color, so.
That's definitely probably a stereotype. But a little bit true.
I mean, we have a lot of people that are blonde and blue-eyed,
Right,
so
right.
yeah,
It's understandable.
it's understandable.
Yeah, I'm curious. What's the face of Sweden?
It's hard
The
to
face
say
of
because in Sweden there's a lot of different kinds of people right now. It's very mixed. Very mixed with eye color and hairstyle and ethnicity. We don't really have a typical Swede per se, but I guess the stereotype still somewhat is blonde and blue eyes.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. But it's like seeing commercials and stuff like that, I think it's very mixed. From my personal perspective, I actually have no clue actually.
Oh, hold on.
Unemotional and reserved.
Unemotional and reserved. I know I seen the reserved part more. I wouldn't say unemotional.
Actually.
That's my first time seeing it. Somebody mentioned a stereotype being unemotional. Cause I think that was the same with the Dutch. It was more reserved, but unemotional. That's interesting. Everybody shows emotion.
Unemotional and reserved. What do you think?
Actually, most of the Swedes I've encountered are really like party animals. Okay, so I don't know about the emotional side, but like I said, I don't have much experience. Swedish media other than watching PewDiePie or the band I like. On a personal level, I feel like maybe. But I'm not, what do you think? Because I don't really know, like personally.
I think this is very different about what season it is
Right.
and what day it is.
Facts.
So, for
I feel
example,
like that's how I am. It just depends on the day, the season. I'm a nice guy. I talk. I always have a smile on my face, but certain parts of the day you might not see that. You might not.
season it is
Right.
and what day it is. So, for example, you mentioned party animals.
Right.
Yes. Typically, Swedish people like to party on the weekends. So, party animals, from my personal perspective, yes, very true. And also during the summer Swedish people go outside, generally very happy, enjoying the sun because
the weather
finally,
in
right?
Sweden. I heard that it gets dark at 3 p.m. in winter, so I would also be unemotional.
Ooh, I couldn't handle that.
And not
Some places in Sweden gets dark very early.
Yeah, I don't think I can handle that. Ooh.
So during the winter time, it's very common to wear thick jackets, just your hood over, you go to the grocery store and you go back and then you like have a cozy night with a lit candle. And at that time, I guess Swedes can seem a bit reserved and unemotional, I'd say. But summertime, weekends, I don't think that's it.
Wow, these are stereotypes.
I had no idea about this stereotype.
I have never heard of this.
No.
Me either.
I think this is a personality. Well, we're both.
I mean, yeah.
We look like we're going to a funeral. So I think this may just
they look
be.
like they're going to a funeral. They got on flip-flops, slippers, house shoes, whatever you want to call them.
I mean,
we look like we're going to a funeral. So I think this may just be somebody's personality. I could see maybe why in the winter, if you're wearing like a big jacket or something, they may come across as like just very boring or something, like this fashion. But I just think that's
I like
kind of
working.
a personal
I like
thing,
wearing
or
all
like
black.
maybe a seasonal thing. I don't know. Never been to Sweden.
I haven't really thought about it. I generally view, from an outside perspective, looking into Sweden, I kind of think Sweden has a good sense of fashion. Swedish people generally have a good sense of fashion. Not because I'm Swedish.
I mean, they do have H&M. I mean, H&M is pretty fashionable. You know, I see a lot of people rocking H&M. I wear H&M when it comes to like dressy casual clothes. So
per se, but
they got some fashion out there.
I guess like during autumn and spring times, we do wear a bit more like earthy colors. But I mean, doesn't everyone do that?
Yep.
And summertime is a lot of white. Like guys wear generally white shirts and girls wear white dresses.
tees.
Like it's a very Swedish summer thing. So, but yeah, I guess it's neutral colors.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of just
my God.
definitely a stereotype. But Swedish meatballs are very
Good,
delicious.
right?
Yes, that's one of my favorite meals. I'll go to IKEA just to eat Swedish meatballs. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's probably a
Oh my
stereotype. Do you eat that every day? No.
So no, I don't. I think Swedish people, when we cook food at home, we cook a lot of Swedish food. Like Swedish style restaurants, it's not a lot of that. We have a lot of different food from other cultures. Like there's a lot of Japanese restaurants, Mexican, American, Italian, and so on and
Wide
so on.
variety out
So
there.
I'd say we generally eat that a lot. But yes, absolutely, home-cooked meals in Sweden are delicious, and they tend to be Swedish meatballs and very potato-based foods,
I love it.
salmon, fish of all sorts. Yeah.
I'm moving to Sweden. So
You're welcome.
good. Okay, so in the South,
Yeah.
I'm from the South. There's a lot of people who hunt for their food. Fishing's a big deal, so a lot of people go fishing and clean everything at home, like their fish, or they go hunting, or some people buy like one cow to use for the whole year. So
Wow.
I'm curious
I didn't
in
even know
Sweden.
we
I'm
were
sure
there.
it depends on your location, but
Really does.
do people?
You know, people in America, they buy a whole cow. Where can I get a cow at? Shoot. No, but I think we do down here in the South, especially take fishing, hunting, all that stuff. She's definitely speaking facts on that one. Really just depends, because I think hunting season, it's a certain amount of months, so you can't even do it year round type thing, you know. You can fish year round, but you have to have a fishing license. I think I've mentioned that. They mentioned that, or talked about it in another video, but you definitely have to have a license to fish, or I think you can get in big trouble.
I'm curious in Sweden. I'm sure it depends on your location, but
Really does.
do people like do all their hunting or like cleaning at home, or is it like, I guess if you live in a city, you can't really go hunting.
No.
But
Yeah, but like city people, especially during the summer, we usually, at least from the Stockholm perspective where I'm from, we tend to, there's something called Stockholms skärgård, like a bit outside on the outskirts of Stockholm.
Okay.
You go there with the beautiful nature, it's a lot of water, like islands around that area. So I have very strong childhood memories of going fishing with my father and then cleaning and cooking the fish that we caught. And I do think that is a thing in Sweden. And I'm not saying everyone's doing it, but yeah, definitely a lot of Swedish people do that. If you invite friends over, I do think like you make your own meatballs.
Meatball party.
You make your own mix of meatball, like how to do it. You don't really buy frozen meatballs to that extent. If you want to make a more nice meal of meatballs.
Gotcha.
This one is interesting.
So
I feel like
talk.
whatever I'll say to this, people won't agree with me, but okay.
I feel like it just depends, because I've seen tons of videos that say they do don't type thing, you know. Some people in the comment, it just depends. I feel like I try to avoid small talk, you know, all the time. It just depends who it is, you know. I think that just people in general.
What do I think?
Yeah,
well, I know that Americans love small talk, because when you see somebody, you just say everything. Oh my God, how are you? How have you been? I mean, small talk's a big deal, I think, to Americans. So.
For some.
The thing is, when I look at Swedes, I do think we do enjoy small talk generally. If you compare it to, let's say, Asian culture per se.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But if you then compare to America, who's very big on small talk, maybe I'm like Swedish people, we have a bit of a joke, because for me, when you go to your local grocery store or local 7-Eleven and you go there a few times, it's very common to be like, oh, the weather is so hot today, or so cold today, or you know, that sort of small talk. Me personally enjoy it a lot. I feel like it brings a sense of belonging. Like
you're
welcome, like the small talk. Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm fine. I want to buy this. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Like that sort of easy small talk. Is
you
very
know, some people, I would say small conversations, you know, but small talk, I feel like that's common though. I feel like everybody does that there. You know, how you doing? I'm doing good. How are you? I'm doing good. That's nice to see you. Bye. You know, if we consider that small talk, then of course everybody do it, especially if you see somebody you know.
I want to buy this. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Like that sort of easy small talk is very common.
Yeah.
Some Swedes don't like it.
Right.
It's so personal, right?
Right.
But I do think I enjoy it. I have a lot of friends who enjoy it. I think Swedes typically enjoy it.
I think it's a personality thing too. Like, I guess by stereotype, Americans are pretty loud, right? So generally we just attract to each other and we talk a lot. But if you're reserved or you have anxiety, you know, you may not be that kind of way. I guess it's the same with Swedes. Like, some people just don't want to talk to you, you know. Honestly, I was just really surprised about the clothes stereotype, because I mean, now I understand it looking back. I think it's more of a compliment, but sometimes when I associate things with stereotypes, it's more of a negative thing, right? So I was like, but Swedes look really good, like their fashion sense. So that's pretty interesting.
They have H&M. Why?
Or the small talk. I think Swedish people are quite talkative and friendly for the most part. So if they don't like small talk, then I'd be kind of shocked.
And I actually don't know, do Swedes like small talk? I think it's such a personal...
Wait, we should ask people in the comments.
I think local...
go check out these comments.
Yes, very much, right? Then strangers on the bus, not so much.
Like leave me alone.
Yeah, we do have, in Sweden we do have like a lot of personal space, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of that, like on the bus or on the subway, like generally want to be left alone in situations where conversation is a deal of it at like
I think it
stores
could vary by place too. I'm from the South, so a lot of people are very hospitable. So everybody, you know, talks to each other. Talk to a random stranger in like the grocery store is pretty normal. But if you go to New York City, somebody might spit at you. So I think it's gonna depend.
New York is definitely different. It's crowded out there.
On where you go.
That definitely went from 0 to 100
right.
real fast. Right?
It varies.
So today we talked about Swedish stereotypes.
If you like the video, please like and subscribe or leave a comment. We'll see you soon.
Bye bye.
Okay. Definitely always enjoy these videos by World. I think this channel is called World Friends. They always have some interesting things. I like how they get everybody from different countries to come together and have some conversations and some topics and stuff like that. So appreciate you, Snowbatron, for sending me this one. Y'all let me know, were they right on some of the Swedish stereotypes? I feel like the fashion one, that's still throwing me out, because I'm like, they got H&M. H&M is pretty popular even in the States here. So, and I mean, I would get my dress clothes from H&M. I love H&M, you know, so I would say y'all have style. The Meatballs, I never, first time hearing about the salmon, but Meatballs for sure. But y'all let me know. Was it fact or cap? The fact that count the small talk, I feel like it just depends who you are. I try to avoid small talk, but it's like if it's somebody you know and stuff, you're gonna say hello, how you doing, all this stuff, and boom, about 10-second conversation going on with your day, you know. But guys, that's all I have. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations, and y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.